Hot 104.1 St. Louis' source for hip-hop and R&B. It's your girl Tiana made it live in the hot studios with my girl Cassondra Lenoir.
Hey, everybody.
The author of From Nothing to New York. What's up, girl?
Hey, girl.
Hey, girl. Happy holidays or whatever.
Holidays to you as well.
So, how has it been coming from New York to St. Louis? Like, you know, what was the holiday, and then I know you had 2 book releases and stuff. Tell me about that. Which one was your favorite? Like, tell me like the best. Tell me the good and the bad and the ugly about it.
All right. My favorite is St. Louis, of course.
Of course.
But I also think it's because it's the second one, so I had time to work out all the kinks from the first one, from my New York one.
Mm-hmm.
So, I guess the good is you as my moderator.
Hey, you know, because I be talking, girl. I be talking or whatever sometimes.
You know, and then you spit that poem into my life.
Had to.
Gave me all the energy.
Hey, it's all about believing. When we believe in you, when you believe in you, we believe in you.
Seriously.
And then, like, nowadays, it's not about what you say, it's about what you do. So we are all very appreciative for you.
Thank you.
We are all very appreciative
but
for you.
Something else that was, like, really good about the entire experience was I received so much love and so much support and so much help in St. Louis.
Right.
In New York, my mom flew up. My brother was there. I had maybe one friend that was helping me, that offered to help.
Right.
In St. Louis, when everybody found out, I was receiving inboxes, DMs, text messages, calls, emails from people that I haven't seen since high school.
In years.
In
like
years.
8 years. Yeah.
Seriously. And everybody was willing to help. You came in and went straight like, what do you need help with?
Yeah.
And you was back there helping my mom.
Absolutely. I mean, you know, once we see that somebody's making moves, not only elsewhere or out in the country, out in the universe, it's dope that they also bring it back home.
Seriously.
Some people take off and they never come back home, and then it takes, you know, Hollywood, or it takes somebody else who's their PR agent be like, hey, you need to go back home and do something because it looks good. You didn't have nobody to tell you that. You like, I want to go back home because that's where I started from.
Exactly.
So speaking of that's where you started from, so tell us about what made you like, at the end of the day, we always have those type of hints in life that tells us when we're younger, we don't always pay attention to them, that lets us know, like, okay, this is my calling, this is what I'm good at, this is what my skill is. Tell us about Hazelwood East, and being that we're pretty much all Hazelwood East alum in here. Asha, our producer, and then myself and you,
my friend
Alex.
You know,
we are all Hazelwood East alums. So tell us about that. Like, what was it like at school, like back in the day, high school?
One thing I can say is, actually, within my book, I said this, like, it starts from my freshman year of high school and it goes through my first summer in NYC.
Right.
Well, I learned everything in high school. I acquired all of my knowledge, all of my experiences in high school. The first time I hosted an event, picked up the mic and was emceeing was in high school. The first journalism class I had was in high school.
Yeah.
The first newspaper I wrote for
was
in high school.
Yeah.
It was all in high school. And I ended up
Yeah.
going to college and was a journalism major. So how could I not go back to my high school where it all began, where all those seeds were first planted or manifested for me to realize it? Like, why wouldn't I give back to what poured so much into me? And it's so crazy because when I was in college and even in New York, a lot of people was like, I feel like Hazelwood East didn't prepare me, or I feel like I didn't get nothing from high school.
I hear that nowadays too.
And I was one of those people in St. Louis saying, there's nothing here for me. I got to college and I'm like, there's nothing here for me. I'm never going back to St. Louis. There's nothing. Just because all we had to do was go to the movies or go skating. Just to realize that when I got to New York, it was everything that I thought was nothing that prepared me for New York.
Okay.
Those first 3 months in New York were the rough months of my life.
Right.
I still say that, and I've been through hell. But it was the worst months of my life, and it was everything that I learned in New York. People say if you can make it in New York, in St. Louis. People say if you can make it in New York, you can make it anywhere. Well, it's because I made it in St. Louis that I was able to make it in New York.
Yeah, because St. Louis is a beast itself. And not only that, so let's talk about New York for a second. Okay. When did you realize that this wasn't home? Was it the fact that you didn't have a support system there? You had to make it on your own. You had to build your own type of rapport with people that you could trust. What was the most challenging? Was it building your rapport with people who you know that you needed to support you? Was it just making it through? Or was it just being a Midwest girl girl, you know, regular, schmegular Midwest girl coming all the way to the East Coast, and like, I know it's a culture shock. Which one was it the most for you?
The most difficult or challenging thing, I believe, was doing it by myself. I went out there. I didn't have any family, any friends, any networks, any SEMO alum. But shout out to my school, SEMO. Right. But you know, I didn't have anybody to reach out to do it, like, or to help me along the way. I had to figure it out all on my own. If I was crying or lonely, I couldn't go to my cousin's house who lived down the street, or even the next city over.
It like Whitney Chase, I feel you.
I literally had to call my mama, or seriously, or Ferguson. My people still in Ferguson. Yeah. Call my mom or Skype. Yeah. My granny. Like, you know, I had to adjust. Because when I went to SEMO, so that's an hour and a half, 2 hours away. If anything happened, my people was on the highway, or I was coming home every weekend. My friends, the majority of my friends was at Mizzou. So if I was lonely and felt like I couldn't trust people at SEMO, I could hop on the highway and go to Mizzou.
Absolutely.
In New York, there is no hopping on the highway. There is no hopping on the plane, and especially initially when you first move up there. I moved up there with a $10 an hour internship lined up,